Hello, I don't know why I'm doing this reading. Those are always the strongest readings. It's Mercury Retrograde Shadow Love reading. Okay, so we know that we're looking at the past, we're looking at exes, we're looking at things that have drifted off, and we're looking at returning and disappearing and all of those strange grey areas in between. Okay, so if you're drawn to this reading, in the same way that I'm drawn to do this reading, you might not exactly know why. And I think that's okay. So as we know, Mercury's going retrograde from the 13th of December to the 1st of January. It's in Capricorn, then it moves into Sagittarius. So it has different things happening at different times. But it also, for many of us, I'm just feeling a weird shift in the love department, and I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's what we're here to investigate. This is for you if you're just strolling by or scrolling by and thinking like that. Okay, settle in, get ready, get yourself a drink. I'm going to take 2 cards to kick us off, and hopefully these will tell us why we're here. God, it doesn't feel like you, but we're gonna, oh yes, okay. It's already off to a weird start. Okay. Wow. We start with the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of being maxed out. It's a card of gradually adding and adding and adding and adding to the pile. Some of you are overwhelmed by thoughts of somebody, feelings of somebody, and they're not necessarily clean and clear. You know, it really feels like mist, like seeing somebody, you know, that time of night when we get to the gloaming where you can't really make out people's faces properly. And I'm seeing someone almost across a park or across a field or a long way across the street, and they kind of disappear off to the side and you can't quite catch it. There's something about the turn of year and the time of year that is making you want to move towards some kind of resolution, whatever that may be. And this might be somebody from years ago, weeks ago, days ago, doesn't matter. Time is not really a factor in this. Okay, so where we're going, we don't need time. Ten of Wands is, it becomes too painful to stay the same. You have a situation on your hands of some complexity where you don't know where to put it, and it doesn't know where to go. Okay. Then we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups here, it's a shadow card. All of these are shadow tarot cards. It's I'll remember what it's called at some point and I'll tell you, but I've lost the box. It's by Hattie Thorne and it's like Shadow Fates Tarot or something like that. I'll find out and put it in the description box. So this Page of Cups is very much at the beginning of something. It's a thought. It's an idea. It can sometimes be a text message or something tiny, like a communication on social media that isn't even direct. It's not the big speech, the big statement, the big switch, the big move. It's small, but it's sometimes an apology and sometimes like the kernel of new beginning. Whether that new beginning for you, it turns out to be a new beginning or an old new beginning. It's going to be one of those readings, folks. Okay, it's also making my nose run and I've got no tissue. So, and I've got one tissue. Anything could happen. Right, I'll do that in a minute. But we know we're on to something. Right. Okay. I'm going to take, yes I am. See, we're doing it all by the seat of the pants. I'm looking for those. Yes. I'm going to take an ethereal love tarot for that Page of Cups. I feel like this is very much about a mirror. Okay. So I've got two decks. One is the ethereal love tarot, and you can see just from there it's like that. So it's got the light. And then one, the Shadow Fates tarot, I think it's called, where it's holding on to the dark. Let's go down so we can actually see the cards on the table as well, because then you'll see the difference between the two. And I can also blow my nose, and you won't have to look at that on camera as badly. Okay. So I'm going to take two cards for the Ten of Wands and the Page of Cups from the lighter tarot. This is what Mercury retrograde energy is like. Forwards, backwards, sideways. It's like almost a sort of four-step dance where time becomes completely irrelevant. Oh, yes. Ace of Swords for that one. Oh, hello. And many feelings for this one. Oh, God, okay. Woof. There's a story here because 3 fell out for the Page of Cups. We're going to do them in turn. God, 2 majors as well. Right, okay. Let's just focus in a little bit more. Bring these cards down here. For the Page of Cups here, I get, first off, the Hanged Man. Neptunian energy. The energy of you're moving, but you're staying still at the same time. It's sometimes illusory, so you have to be very careful. And I think this is where you become responsible for your own reality. Okay, as we move from 2023 into 2024, I found in all the December readings I did from Aries through to Pisces, that there was a real kind of checkpoint as the year turned, where you had to decide whether you were living in fantasy or whether you were living in reality, or a little bit of both, and kind of sort out what the difference is. And the image that I have in my head is separating an egg. You know, when you're making, I don't know, meringue or something, and you're separating the yolk from the white. And it can become a real messy business. And I feel like that's where we're going to be while this Mercury is retrograde. We're in abeyance. Now, good things happen while we're in this energy. Good things happen for you while we're in this energy. Okay? It's the energy of acceptance and finding your way without absolute answers. Okay? It's a difficult energy if you're the kind of person that likes to have parameters and that you want to have everything organized. Even if you are that person, it's not going to be that way. Okay? So early warning for that, people, it's not going to be that way. Next to it, the Lovers. I mean, come off it. Wowzers. The Lovers is a major choice. It's Gemini energy. So it's the energy of 2 roads, duality. And when Mercury, which is Gemini's ruler, goes retrograde, it runs along like 2 tracks, parallel. Past and present come together. Love and hate come together. Dark and light come together. All of this strange, messy energy. I'm getting loads of domestic channeling. So I'm now getting pouring tea leaves through a big strainer. And this sort of very pure tea coming out the bottom, but everything being caught in the strainer. You're sorting the tea leaves from the tea. This is your, I don't know if it would be your brain or just you going bigger and bigger into detail on something, deeper and deeper and deeper into the layers of what happened with somebody. And I don't even know if you're doing that with any prejudice. I don't know if you're doing that because, I don't think you can judge it either way. It's a little bit like a forensic detective. You're sort of going over and peeling back the layers. And don't expect to have answers straight away for this. Mercury retrograde is not always that generous. That's not always its job, but it's a very good job for going back over something because it's retro. Retracing your steps is Mercury retrograde, retracing your thoughts, looking back, realizing anything to do with that that brings you back to a reality where you can kind of move from it, you can live with it. I feel as well with that egg channeling that I had, we are breaking the egg on a new chapter of this particular story, okay? Told you it was going to be a deep one, as the actress said to the bishop. There will be an extended, there always is when I do these readings. So in the extended, we will do a further channeling. We'll take all the cards we get in this and we'll go even deeper, a bit like you're going to anyway over the next few weeks, okay? So if you get to the end and it really resonates, that's where we're going, and it will be the first link in the description box. Okay, you got your Hanged Man. Let me just switch my phone off. Although, do you like my ringtone? That one's called Spell. That'll be the boy probably asking for money at university. Okay, we've got the Lovers, we've got the Hanged Man. 2 ways to go, and then a kind of pause where you feel like things are timeless. You may get dreams in this time and this period where you see somebody but it's a different face, or you see their face but they don't have the rest of them, or they're totally out of context. You see them but they don't speak, or they speak but you don't see them. All of those things. Okay, and then we also have the third card that came in for this, and think of this reading more as an unfolding because that's the energy I'm getting from it straight away. We have the Four of Cups. It's very important at this time of, I would say, somewhat confusion, retrograde energy, and what I'm also, loads of channeling for you today, what I'm also getting, which is really weird, is that you're almost building a new reality kind of over here next year, a new reality. It's the only way I can put it. And in order to do that, you have to do a deep dive into all of these areas. And some of these areas might be yours, and some of them might be theirs, and some of them might be the relationships. And it won't always be clear which is which, and it won't always matter because you and this person have shared shadows and light at some point. For the 10 of Wands here, we are getting the Ace of Swords. That is a great card to get because the Ace of Swords is an epiphany. Normally with the Ace of Swords, you're in swords territory, it's communication, it's air sign stuff, you're thinking something, you're getting an epiphany in the brain. I don't know if the epiphany will be in a thought or whether it will just be in like almost a bodily reaction or feeling. But it's an epiphany nevertheless, and we like that. It's a clarity, and there's obscurity as well. So you will have times where it feels like this sort of mist, and times where the mist will clear and you see something, a face, a text, something that happened, some kind of epiphany will come to you and you'll be like, oh God, okay, bingo. Then it will close back again. It won't be an endless, because you can't stay in an epiphany. You can't stay in that uber kind of energy of getting an epiphany, because we don't really stay in any energy for that long. And epiphanies are sort of short and sharp and sweet in this case. But then, almost as a mode of protection, there'll be a mist. Again, you can go back into that Hanged Man card. Behind the scenes, and I'll take a shadow card for the lovers now, can you see that this is almost like stitching or weaving, where you have the warp and the weft and all that stuff, and it goes in and out? That's what this is. We're taking shadow cards for the light, light cards for the shadow. There's a spiraling going on, which I'm rather liking, and that is your card. Oof! For the lovers, I get the 8 of Wands. I like that. Okay. Let me just do that so we don't get the reflection. 8 of Wands is... it's a card of communication. It's a fire sign card, and the communication is positive, but it's an 8 as well. It's a movement. When it comes up as a shadow card for the lovers, you may not always have had that communication, and you might also not be able to communicate it for yourself just yet either. Something went quiet. I'm going to take another card for it. I'm just working out whether it's another shadow card. Okay, good. Something went quiet. Something is missing. Someone is missing. Or you are missing someone. Okay. God, this is like the weirdest jigsaw ever. And it's really hard. Oh, there we go. I was just going to say it's really hard to choose a card for it, and then one very helpfully fell out for me. Oh, yes. The 5 of Pentacles. This is a card of walking a path alone, of difficulty. There has been, in this lover's situation, difficulty. There has been loneliness of communication, something to do with communication. I don't know, it goes in fits and starts, or it's very sparse. You know, it feels sparse. I'm going to take, yeah. Oof. No wonder you've been having kind of, no wonder you need to sit on a swing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, God. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Pentacles in reverse is a lack of stability. When you get it in the upright, it's a feeling of, we know where we're going with this. We know where this is leading, either to commitment or something very solid. You know, it's always the kind of family thing here, usually quite traditional, but it's your version of whatever that is. But it's in disarray. It's what I call running away to the circus when we get this energy, being very nomadic. The relationship became nomadic, and you became the nomad, walking this path in this way. What strange energy for you, and at the same time very recognizable. Oh my God. Card for the Hanged Man is the Hanged Man in reverse. That's your shadow card for that. My God, okay. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse. We have the Hanged Man in the upright. What binds them? My God, okay. The Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. God, this is literally... God, and the cards, right, I'm going to have to shuffle them a different way, but that one now wants to come out as well. Oh my God! With the Ten of Cups. Against the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. By the time I do the extended, I will need an extended lie down, I think. Or maybe even by the end of this one. I'm going to take a card for the Page of Cups. Oh, look. Ten of Swords. I like all the tens coming up. Somebody that you're dealing with, this Ten of Swords, is reaching a point of exhaustion, but it's like, because you've got the Ten of Swords here, Ten of Wands there, Ace of Swords here. That's the new beginning after that. Somebody, and they haven't reached it yet, is reaching a saturation point. I'm not sure that you are, but they are. Mercury retrograde, although it is a massive cliche, brings people back in whatever way. Sometimes literally, very often literally. Other times in dreams, in messages, in thoughts, in really strange communications. And I feel it here. Someone is ready to answer is what I get for that, but I don't really understand what it means. No, I'm just taking a shadow card now for the Ten of Swords. This is like moving in and out and in and out of the light. Hit the like button if you're still with me. I'd love to hit that like button back to you, because if you're sticking with this, it's amazing. Because it's not the easiest. The King of Pentacles. Okay. King of Pentacles as a shadow card is somebody who doesn't understand themselves. Now, this can be a very difficult thing to be on the receiving end of, or to be near somebody who doesn't physically know where they're going to be or mentally understand where they're going to be. And it may be that you had some kind of understanding of this person and you had an understanding with them, but it didn't make complete sense. So for the Four of Cups in reverse, we get the Two of Wands. Sorry, Four of Cups, we get the Two of Wands in reverse as a shadow card. Making choices. Someone wasn't able to make a decision. This may have made you feel just downright angry, abandoned in this Five of Pentacles here. Let loose, as if you were free falling. Okay. What do we need to know, please, about making sense of this? What do we need to know about the journey out onto the other side of this? No. Yes. Okay, we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so I think it's important to understand that during this Mercury retrograde time, this is not a time of direct communication. It's very much indirect. It's very much in the shadow, in the mist. You are on a knife edge yourself with this situation. They are at the end of some kind of a line, and it feels like I don't think even they know which side they're ending up on. And I don't think you do either. We've got communication here in a shadow card. We've got the Page of Cups, which is the small reaching out, the idea, the thought, the kernel of an apology, the thought that you might contact somebody, but it hasn't developed here into the Knight of Cups. Let's take another card for the Knight of Cups and follow the trail. It's like following a trail for you, this situation. And it isn't clear. Oh my God. Queen of Pentacles. We have the Shadow King of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Pentacles, and she is not in shadow. By the end of Mercury retrograde, you will know yourself, A, a lot better, and B, you'll be more powerful. And further to that, you'll be able to make a rational decision on whether, and I don't like using the word wait, on whether you want to continue this or whether you don't. Because you're in the light and they're in the shadow. Let's have a look over here at the Two of Wands. God. Yeah, there's such a resistance down this line, okay? We've got the Four of Cups, which actually might be you too in resistance. And why not? You know, why not? With the Two of Wands, which is being unable to make a decision, but also being challenged maybe by distance, because sometimes this is the card of moving or looking for somewhere else to be. Then we have the Seven of Wands, which is the card of being defensive. Mars in Leo, like literally the stop sign. Somebody who stops things before they get to a certain point. Somebody who can't actually cope with things getting beyond a certain point. I'm going to take a card for that King of Pentacles now. I like this. It kind of looks like bricks or a jigsaw. Oh God. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps now. Actual goosebumps. King of Pentacles in reverse for the King of Pentacles. Wow. I'm getting all kinds of channeling. I'm getting being on a knife edge. I'm getting the gleam. I'm getting a river where you look and your reflection looks back at you. I'm getting the optical images where you take ink on a page and separate like that. The issue, I suppose you could call it, to be resolved as we get spat out the other end of Mercury retrograde, which is really by about the 10th of January, once you factor in the shadow part of it, is whether you are a mirror for each other that kind of shines, or that, God, how can I put this? Each thing has a property of being good and bad, okay? Of being yes and no, of being on and off. You spend a lot of time here in the middle of this, spinning by, exploring different possibilities, the Hangman in the upright, the Hangman in the reverse, the King of Pentacles in the upright, the King of Pentacles in the reverse. It just feels, all of the tens that are on the table, both in shadow and in light, speak of some kind of completion. And you spend a long time in the middle of this, on the edge of it, before it falls either way. But I think it does fall either way. Whether you end up being a positive or negative match. You're a match, but it's whether that match ends up being positive or negative. By gum. In the extended reading, I'm going to do a reading where I put you and the other person side by side. I'm going to drill down further into what's going on with this person and see if I can look at a timeline too and a way, like a ladder, to climb out of this. It doesn't feel like the abyss, it feels like a private beach. You know, like when you go down a sort of metal rusty old ladder and you end up on a private beach that nobody else knows about. And it feels like you need to find a way back out. So I'm going to concentrate on that as well in the extended. I'm going to look at that. And then other things will come up because it's that kind of reading. So I'll be using all kinds of different weird and wonderful decks. Because this is a weird and wonderful situation. And I can't promise you clarity during Mercury retrograde because it won't be clear. It will be on the edge of clarity the whole time. And that is hard to work with. So this is not for the faint-hearted. My God. Yes. Let's look at the next card for the Eight of Cups. Exactly. You will make a decision. Eight of Cups in the upright, Seven of Swords in the reverse. Oh my God. Can you make sense of, live with, love, be with, understand what went down? That's the Seven of Swords in reverse, because when it's in reverse, there is a promise of improvement, and there is, you know, I can change, those kinds of things. But the Eight of Cups is a very strong card. We never take away from the power of the Eight of Cups. You may distance yourself in some way, you maybe already have. This is a very positive thing, okay? Don't be feeling that it's in some way, it's difficult, but it's not negative, okay? But it is difficult. The Eight of Cups is always difficult. I'm taking a light card for that and a shadow card for the other. Yeah. Two of Pentacles in the reverse for the Eight of Cups. I feel like we're kind of in a spiral with this. Leave me a comment. Throw me a rope. Oh, God, that's gorgeous. Seven of Swords in reverse, we get the Star. We have been lacking some major arcana. Is that the first major arcana we've had? Okay. It's very balanced. Shadow and light is very balanced here. That's confusing, invigorating, perplexing, and heartwarming all at the same time. What you must not do is be hard on yourself if you don't have a full understanding of this situation, because how could you have a full understanding of the situation? I'm just little, I know what I want. Yeah, I'm going to take one of these. Okay. That one. How do I view my body and how has it affected my self-esteem? Now, don't think of this just in terms of appearance. Really important. That's like quite far down the line on this. We're talking about how do you feel, this is very deep, about taking up space in your body? How do you feel about taking up space in the world? This is to do with worth. And in terms of self-love and shadow work, this is another thing for Mercury retrograde, which is difficult but also incredibly valuable for this time. This is finding yourself whole and wanting to be there. And there have been times where you have maybe detached, disappeared, or left yourself behind in some way. It may be a long time ago, it may come up again in relationships. And a question that you have about this connection, this relationship, this situation, whatever it is can you be your whole embodied self and still be with this person? Queen of Pentacles, very earthy. King of Pentacles in shadow needs to become themselves, needs to step into their identity. You are dealing with somebody here who struggles with their own identity as well, actually, in some way. Struggles with inhabiting a situation fully. But you have struggled with that too, for different reasons. And this is like a mirror of healing. It's not as if you heal yourself to get them to heal themselves, because that's not what we ever do it for, and it doesn't work. This is about you healing yourself for the sake of yourself. But it does have a transformational effect on all other areas of your life, your love life, your destiny, your everyday life. God. Okay, I'm going to go to the extended, after which I may just literally, as my own mum says, disappear up my own backside. This is really quite full on. But I like it, I get it, this is what I was feeling, so I'm glad this reading came out like this. And I think you're feeling this way too, that's why you're attracted to the reading. So that in itself is a perfect point. Whew. Okay, and leave me a comment. I read all my comments, I try to reply to as many as I can. And I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.